Well, police arrested Grammy Award-winning rapper Lil Durk in Florida on federal charges that he paid for the attempted 2022 revenge killing of another rapper at a Los Angeles gas station.
Investigators believe Lil Durk put out a hit on another rapper, Quando Rondo, in retaliation for the earlier murder of Chicago rapper King Von. Rondo's cousin also died in a shooting at a Los Angeles gas station caught on camera. Several of Lil Durk's associates have also been arrested in connection with this same plot.
Chicago native and Grammy-winning rapper Lil Durk is in legal trouble tonight, charged in a murder-for-hire plot against another rapper.
Our Jermon Terry spoke to a local DJ who helped Lil Durk get his start and has new reaction to these serious allegations.
A Grammy Award-winning Chicago rapper has been arrested on a federal criminal complaint alleging he conspired with others to murder a rival rapper, resulting in a shooting and murder that took place at a gas station near the Beverly Center shopping mall in Los Angeles in August 2022. An attack that resulted in a family member of the rival being shot and killed, the Justice Department announced today. Durk Banks, 32, aka Lil Durk, was arrested near Miami International Airport late Thursday on a complaint charging him with conspiracy to use interstate facilities to commit murder for hire resulting in death. The arrest comes a day after 5 people with ties to Banks' hip-hop group, Only the Family OTF, were reported to have been charged in Chicago in connection with a 2022 shooting that killed the cousin of rival rapper Quando Rondo. The 33-year-old from Chicago has received 4 Grammy Award nominations, winning the prize for Best Melodic Rap Performance in February for All My Life, featuring J. Cole. Lil Durk has had 6 albums in the US Billboard chart's top 5 since 2019 and has also collaborated with top stars like Drake and J. Cole on hit singles. Lil Durk founded OTF in 2010, and the group are at the center of the city's drill rap scene. Officials allege the 5 men charged on Wednesday organized the 2022 shooting in Los Angeles as direct retaliation for the 2020 death of emerging rapper King Von, who was signed to OTF, US media report. A friend of Quando Rondo was charged with King Von's murder, but the charges were later dropped. Quando Rondo was not arrested or charged. The Chicago Sun-Times reported that the new indictment against the 5 men alleges that an unnamed co-conspirator offered money and lucrative music opportunities with OTF to anyone who took part in killing Quando Rondo. In 2022, some of the accused men allegedly shot at a car traveling with Quando Rondo, his sister, and his cousin Xavier Robinson. Quando Rondo and his sister were unharmed, but Robinson died. Earlier this month, the mother of another Chicago rapper, FBG Duck, reportedly filed a lawsuit accusing Lil Durk, OTF and King Von of being involved in shooting him dead in 2020. Meanwhile, 2 years ago, Lil Durk had charges including attempted murder dropped following a non-fatal shooting in Atlanta in 2019. He made his initial appearance this afternoon in United States District Court for the Southern District of Florida and remains in federal custody. His arraignment is expected to occur in Los Angeles federal court in the coming weeks. Mr. Banks is charged with orchestrating a cold-blooded murder that resulted in the death of a rival's family member, said United States Attorney Martin Estrada. Not only that, the shooting occurred in the open, at a gas station at a busy intersection, endangering many others in the area. Violent gun crime of this sort is devastating to our community, and we will have zero tolerance for those who perpetrate such callous acts of violence. The apprehension of Mr. Banks as he attempted to leave the United States is once again proof that the FBI and our extraordinary partners at the Los Angeles Police Department have a long reach, said Akil Davis, Assistant Director in charge of the FBI Los Angeles Field Office. No excuse can justify this violent act, and let me be clear, while you're going about your life thinking you got away with it, the FBI is piecing together the facts that will serve as your undoing. Cases like these that span multiple states and jurisdictions are complicated and can oftentimes only be resolved through the collaboration of multiple departments, said Los Angeles Police Chief Dominic Choi. This arrest is the culmination of the combined efforts of our partners in the US, Attorney's Office, the FBI, and LAPD's Operation West Bureau homicide detectives who discovered that Durk DAKA, Lil Durk, was involved in this heinous murder. The hundreds of hours spent on the investigation included surveillance, authoring numerous search warrants, using forensic technology, and tireless investigative travel and collaboration alongside our federal partners led to this arrest. I am appreciative of the dedication of those involved. According to the complaint filed Thursday night, Banks is the leader of the Chicago-based rap collective known as Only the Family, or OTF. Law enforcement believes OTF also acts as a group of individuals who engage in violence, including murder and assault at Banks' direction, and to maintain their status in OTF. Banks feuded with a victim, identified in court documents as TB. The feud stemmed from a November 6, 2020, murder in which an associate of TB shot and killed an OTF rapper named Davon Bennett, aka King Von Bennett, and Banks were close friends. In response to Bennett's murder, Banks allegedly put a bounty on T.B.'s life. On August 19, 2022, several OTF members and associates used 2 vehicles and worked in tandem to track, stalk, and attempt to murder TB for hours, culminating in a shooting at a gasoline station located near the Beverly Center Mall. The co-conspirators fired at least 18 rounds at T.B.'s vehicle, striking and killing a victim identified in court documents as SR, who was T.B.'s family member who had been traveling with TB. Banks allegedly ordered T.B.'s murder, and the hitman used money from Banks and OTF-related finances to carry out the hit. Bank and flight records show that an OTF member and close associate of Banks coordinated and paid for 5 co-conspirators to travel from Chicago to California on the day before the murder. Around the time the one-way flights were purchased, Banks told the OTF associate booking the flights, "Don't book no flights under no names involved, wits sick me." The same day the hitman traveled from Chicago to California, Banks also traveled to California in a private jet with another conspirator, Kavon London Grant, 28, aka Cousin Vonnie. Later that day, Grant allegedly purchased ski masks for the shooters to use to commit the murder and paid using a credit card in Banks' name for the other co-conspirators' hotel room. On Thursday morning, federal and local law enforcement in the Chicago area arrested Grant and 4 other defendants charged in a 4-count federal grand jury indictment alleging their roles in the murder-for-hire plot. After law enforcement made the arrests and executed search warrants in Chicago, the FBI learned that Banks had been booked on 3 international flights scheduled to leave the United States on Thursday. When Banks arrived near one of the departing airports in Miami, specifically law enforcement personnel arrested him. In addition to Grant, the defendants charged in the separate indictment, which a grand jury returned on October 17th, are DeAndre Dontrell Wilson, 33, aka Deed of Chicago; Keith Jones, 33, aka Flacker of Gary, Indiana; David Brian Lindsay, 33, aka Brown Eyes of Addison, Illinois; and Asa Houston, 36, aka Boogie of Chicago. These 4 defendants, along with Grant, are charged with 1 count of conspiracy, 1 count of use of interstate facilities to commit murder for hire resulting in death, and 1 count of using, carrying and discharging firearms and a machine gun, and possession of such firearms in furtherance of a crime of violence resulting in death. Jones faces an additional count of possession of a machine gun. Lil Durk booked 3 international flights in an alleged attempt to flee the country following the murder-for-hire arrests of 5 people associated with his group, Only the Family OTF. According to the indictment obtained by WGN News, records show law enforcement personnel arrested 32-year-old Lil Durk, whose real name is Dirk Devontae Banks, Thursday night upon his arrival at a Miami area airport. Rapper Lil Durk, 32, was arrested after allegedly booking multiple international flights to escape the country following the arrests of 5 people connected to his crew, Only the Family OTF. The FBI learned that Banks had booked at least 3 international flights following the arrests of Kavon London Grant, DeAndre Dontrell Wilson, Keith Jones, David Brian Lindsay, and Asa Houston, who prosecutors allege all have ties to OTF, which Banks formed in 2010. The 5 men were indicted on federal charges in Los Angeles regarding a plot to kill rapper Quando Rondo. U.S. Customs and Border Protection alerted the FBI that Banks booked 2 one-way flights to Dubai and Switzerland on Thursday. While Banks did not board either flight, FBI officials soon learned that the 32-year-old Chicago rapper had also booked a private plane to depart Miami and arrive in Italy. The indictment further revealed that FBI agents arrested Durk around 8 p.m. Thursday, OT, 24, an hour before the scheduled plane's departure time. authorities transported Banks to Broward County Jail, pending a conspiracy murder for hire charge. The rapper was due to appear in court on Friday. Prosecutors aimed to prove that Durk and his alleged 5 associates targeted rapper Quando Rondo over his suspected involvement in the killing of Chicago rapper King Von in 2020. Banks was also sued earlier this month in the fatal shooting of FBG Duck outside a Gold Coast store in 2020. These defendants made their initial appearances on Thursday in the Northern District of Illinois and are expected to be arraigned in United States District Court in downtown Los Angeles in the coming weeks. If convicted, Banks and the 5 defendants charged in the separate indictment each would face a statutory maximum sentence of life in federal prison. The FBI and the Los Angeles Police Department are investigating this matter. Assistant United States Attorneys Ian Ianniello of the General Crimes Section and Daniel H. Weiner of the International Narcotics, Money Laundering, and Racketeering Section are prosecuting this case.